So, in this way, in all the time and all the aspect of that if you can, carry through this Guru Yoga practice, of course, one can receive the actual blessing. Even one could not do, many other kind of, complicated practices. So all these in the past, the great Masters and who obtained, realization, everyone is dependent of the, receiving the blessing of their root lineage masters, from the primordial Buddha, Samanbhadra, till to the present root teacher. So there is no any single one who obtained enlightenment without just relying upon a master. So that is why, in all the time that one, of course, in general, many other prayers, supplication prayers, and besides that, one concentrate into the Guru Yoga practice. So in general, of course, there are so many different, practice of the Guru and meditational deity and Dakini, but among them all, most important is the Guru Yoga. So while we do this Guru Yoga practice, it is very important that where one could have, just complete reliance and trust to the, the Lama without any sort of, hesitations and doubts. So if one's mind is kind of not stable, and that for a few days, seems like one have some sort of devotion and faith, and for some time then, one don't have that devotion and faith, and that way it is more difficult to really receive that kind of blessing. So then, in general, that among all the Lama, that most supreme one is, as you know, this Guru Padmasambhava. But still, sometimes when things are just kind of fine and okay, and where one seems like have some sort of devotion and faith, then one have some kind of prayer and to Guru Padmasambhava, and when one have experiencing some sort of obstacle and problem, and then one also lose one's faith and devotion, so that is not good. In case if we want to experience ultimate realization, the enlightenment and the liberation, then without relying and depending upon a just qualified master, there is no any other way, And then among them all, that most supreme is, as you know, that Guru Padmasambhava, who is the contents of all the Buddhas of the past, present, future.
Guru Rinpoche na Sarvatana Sendiji Sidu Linye Kona Yino Kongi Samasabaji, Kongi Nibate Masabaji, Megari, taking the Shimara, Bede Nagiji, Tatu the Devatamba, Devashiva, Nibat, Shipatapava, the Guru Rinpoche.
One do the supplication prayer to Guru Padmasambhava, then of course whatever sorts of wishes we want to fulfill within this lifetime, of course one can just receive all those blessings, and not only that, even in the next life or future life, whatever sorts of just the result or the happiness and so forth, whatever one wish to experience, it is definite that has that kind of power and blessing.
Do you some something Guru Rinpoche? De Mao Tata, do you something Chotu Guru Rinpoche?
So as that the past, present, future Buddhas, that everything and its all qualities, everything contains into Guru Padmasambhava.
Kangi to Jishin Lab Nibagi.
So just because of his great enlightened intention, that through his blessing, one could also receive the blessings of all the past, present, future Buddhas.
Lama
So that is why somehow we have that the Supreme Guru as which is like a wish fulfilling gem, that which is within our hand. So but still, if we could not do those supplication prayer and inclination and devotion in that way, then of course we could not just receive that kind of the blessing and the power. So there is a sunshine in the sky, but if oneself is not in the sun ray, of course we cannot feel the warmth. So similar like that we are in the sun ray, experiencing the warmth of sun, so that we have to have our devotion and faith, and then carry through all these supplication prayers. So if we supplicate with from our core of heart, with the full devotion, faith and inclination, carrying through all this prayer just every now and then of course one can really receive those blessings. If one thinks too much, just having all this kind of doubt, maybe I may accomplish or maybe not, or I can receive the blessing or maybe not, or maybe it is right or not. In that way, if we have all this kind of just a hesitated mind, then we could not receive the blessing. So one's mind not deceiving to oneself, and then try to do the proper practice. Just only through the Guru Yoga practice, there are a whole bunch of them who have recognize or realize the true nature of mind. So all this accomplishment of the Dzogchen, the great perfection, also one can actualize with the blessing of the Lama. So that in relation with the Dzogchen meditation practice, where we could recognize the true nature of mind, also only we can experience through the blessing of the Guru. Other than that, there is no way we can just go somewhere to buy it. However, one may be a great scholar and have great deal of just knowledge, but if one doesn't receive the proper guidance and the blessing, then maybe it is not possible to recognize the true nature of mind. So if one could not recognize the true nature of mind, or one could not experience that, then it is obstructing the path to enlightenment or liberation. Other than that, there is no other way, just where we can look for, or just to buy, or just find it somewhere else. So that is why, in general, doing all this Dharma practice, and more specifically that carrying through the Guru Yoga practice, it is very important. So you all are in a way just of course that have been involved in this practice many years, even though maybe like within a year, maybe like 1 month, but still it has been just for a while. But still that when you are just back into the city and town, then maybe one may have little bit of time to do the practice, like maybe 1 or 2 months. Otherwise, that oneself doesn't have much time. So that is why to really have some accomplishment, it is also kind of just that the power of it is losing. So since one's own mind is just controlled by oneself, so that try to just prepare some kind of practice for one's own benefit. So just getting through the practice of the Dharma is not for the purpose of Lama. Of course, it is for oneself and then all other sentient beings. But in general, that when we try to concentrate so much on the worldly just activity and try to have all this kind of wealth and then just fame, of course in general people, lots of people just appreciate and praise for that. But in reality, that within this lifetime, maybe oneself experiencing some sort of, just happiness, but if we just carry through all this, Dharma practice, then maybe within this lifetime, maybe, just one may experience, just good or bad, however, but ultimately one could to experience that great, happiness by obtaining, enlightenment. So, of course, in the Dharma there are many levels, but what we all are, trying to do here is the Dzogchen, the great perfection. And in case if oneself is the first level of mind or the highest level of mind, then there is the possibility of obtaining enlightenment within one lifetime, within this, within one body. So that is why whether we could to have some accomplishment in these, practices or not, or whether we could to have, ultimate liberation, the enlightenment or not, it is actually within one's hand. So till now, almost like 6-7 years, that all these Dharma teachings I have worked very hard to give you all. So if you really do some practice, then of course there will be some benefit. So if you don't do the practice, then it is just only like a, I get tired with my mouth. So in general, that however it is, but the Dharma, where there is sometimes the blessing may degenerate. So that is why some teachings that were need to give for kind of very fewer number of students. So in that way, then in your normal practice, try to work out with the actual practice. And then especially this time, that our Palyul, that Dharma holder, that Rinpoche, Rinpoche, he is here, and then Kembos and so forth, and that whatever teachings you are receiving, you try to apply in practice. So Tukutupna Rinpoche is not like us, that he is both just accomplished and a great scholar. So in that way, just carry through your practice. I have nothing more to say.
Thank you.